everyone, what's going on? It's Mike, real low dad. Well, this is about the end of 2019. Didn't know if I was going to do another little wrap-up video after the Christmas special. That did wonderful. 2019 turned out pretty good for me. I had some setbacks along the way, who wouldn't? However, though, a lot of things were accomplished. I learned a great deal on what to do, what not to do, and shared that with you all. I hope that is of some assistance in the future. Ryegrass after the first year, or during the first year growing, not really a good idea, and you need to hit it hard and quick to get rid of it, because it slows things down the longer you let it live. It is pretty, and I wanted to let it live, but I couldn't do it back there. It set things back. One of my biggest surprises, though, was my dormant plugging of the fire pit area where the fire pit used to be. Holy cow, I didn't think it would work that well. I'm taking 3-inch cubes, and we're chopping them all up. Yeah, there's still root structure there, but that just shows you how perseverant and just how determinate that Bermuda grass is. I was able with just little bits, essentially like 1 or 2 little sprigs or root cluster things per area. It filled in. It's fine. The only reason you could tell a fire pit was there is there's still just a little uneven dipping. I didn't get around to leveling the backyard this year. Oh well, maybe next year. We will see. Finally got all of the dirt, the leftover dirt pile from when I did the backyard renovation. That's taken care of. It's gone. There's no more. I might be able to salvage some here or there, but I don't think I'll have to or need to or really honestly want to. So full of so many goosegrass seeds and who knows what else now. Absolutely terrible. I was able to get rid of that by renovating the front yard. Woohoo! That's actually turning out really well. If you follow me on Instagram, I shared quite a bit of it, more frequently than what I do here. It's turned out really well. We've been actually, I don't want to say blessed because that's not the right word, but we've been enjoying an unusually warm winter so far. We're only 7 days into winter where we're at right now. However, it's winter and it's 68 degrees and I'm wearing shorts. I no longer have to kind of pucker up when walking out the doors. That'll happen later on next week. But it's surreal. Been continually mowing. The annual ryegrass, the turf quality stuff from Bermuda has been phenomenal. It's filling in areas where it's just messed up. Absolutely awesome. So pleased with the results on that. If I overseed again, I'm probably just going to use that. It's about 20 bucks cheaper than Champion GQ or a comparable perennial ryegrass. Don't know how well it is to kill off at this point in time, but it'll probably be easier than perennial ryegrass. But would I use it again? Absolutely, 100%, and that's what I'll probably use for my overseeding because it looks good. The leaf texture is awesome. It grows a little bit faster than perennial ryegrass, but that's just the nature of the annual ryegrass. However, it's nothing you can't keep up with if you're already in a high maintenance mode of turf, and if you're rotary mowing and you want it, even better. I'm talking once the temperatures hit below 30, 32, it slows down a lot, but don't kid yourself, it still grows. It can actually germinate at 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Insane. So that means if it can germinate there, it can grow a little bit less. So the TIF grant I got from my buddy John, who is at Thor on the Lawn Forum and on the Lawn Discord and anywhere else he may be at Thor on. I don't know how he likes pounding people with hammers, but I don't know. But he was super nice and decided to give me the leftover bit of his pallet of TIF grand. I swung by his house, I threw it in the back of the Jeep. The bits that I left in the back of the Jeep stayed alive for 6 weeks in the middle of summertime. They were still greening, doing their thing, just sitting there. It was awesome. But holy cow, that TIF grant is doing awesome. It took a little bit of a time to establish itself, to get those main roots down. Once it did that though, holy cow, it just took off and it just started spreading. The back area near the trampoline it filled in really well. Now there is a huge appearance difference between the TIF grant and my Yukon. I don't think they won't coexist. I'm gonna have to selectively eliminate the Yukon from the TIF grant as it does its thing. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm gonna do that, but I do know Tiff Grand is more of a shade tolerant Bermuda, whereas the Yukon is not. But we'll see, or in all likelihood, I'm just going to let it live, and whoever gets this house next, surprise, you have 2 different types of Bermuda and you thought you only had one. You can go cry now. The Bermuda area is doing its thing, testing out some peptide action from my good friend Matt Martin, and the weirdest thing was I sprayed it, and I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect to see a surge of growth in my Bermuda area, and it's very easy to tell what's growing because everything else is brown. But then my front, like the front yard with the renovation, I just walked out there and it was just like, something is different. And I can't say what it is, but it's one of those visual, like you see it and you know something's different, and all I know is I'm extremely happy with the peptides. More on that hopefully to come in talks about certain things with that. But so far, very, very happy. Just do not over apply. I over applied a little bit too much to my palm tree and my orange tree, and like a new baby frond on the palm tree just kind of shriveled all up, and it looked kind of similar to a pack of ramen noodles when you open them up out of the bag. That's what it looked like, and the orange tree wilted, and it looked dry, but you touch the leaves and they feel normal. Really weird stuff, really cool stuff, science, yay. So we have that, and while we're talking about Matt and all the cool stuff he does, and he just dropped the world's greatest fertilizer, and you can fight me on this one, but X-Green is where it is at. Everything about it is awesome. Prill size, awesome. Easy to apply, awesome. The color response, super awesome. How long the color actually stays around after. It's not a leave you at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's there for the long haul. So awesome. Yeah, X-Green's probably my new favorite. Granular fertilizer, favorite fertilizer, all around. I love this stuff. So thank you, Matt. Thank you, Grass Factor. Thank you, John Borden, for unleashing the knowledge and the X-Green upon the populace. If you want some, I probably don't have any, but there might be a link down below where you could buy some. You could also get some Carbon X there too, which Carbon X is X-Green's older brother, or maybe the other way around if you've checked out the Grass Factors podcast. Totally not sponsored, but it's linked down below too. Woohoo, everyone loves that podcast. But Carbon X is awesome, so if you seriously do want to buy some though, because it helps me out, down below. Thank you much, thank you much. So are there any things I would have actually done differently this year, now looking back on it? Yes and no. I really had a very aggressive schedule to get the backyard grown in, and I totally didn't make it. I made nowhere near it. I think of what I wanted to do between weekly foliar fertilization with bi-weekly granular, all so the rates and with the math to where they hit around 1 to 1.5 pounds of nitrogen a month, of just all this spoon feeding. None of it happened. It was honestly a very minimal input year. I didn't use as much growth regulator as I thought I would. I didn't use as much fertilizer as I thought I would. When I bought some first Carbon X at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, this will get me maybe through 4th of July, and I still have a bag and a half of it sitting over there. Granted, I did get some X-Green as well and some other stuff. But my foliar treatments, I still have tons. I still have 40-something pounds of ammonium sulfate, tons of RGS, aerate, and the jugs of microgreen and green punch and all that stuff left over. So it was really a very minimal year as far as nitrogen input, and that's honestly a good thing. Maintaining grass lower, while you want to push in like certain times, I was pushing the Bermuda to fill in. I wanted that lateral growth. Once you have that established yard where you don't have to repair anything or get anything to spread, minimal inputs is the way to go. So that kind of brings us into next year. What are we looking at for next year? Next year, I want to do a minimal input approach to pretty much everything. I haven't really sat down to plan things out just yet. The backyard, it'll get a normal kind of spring green up approach with the Bermuda once I hit that 60-ish% out of dormancy. And with the south facing backyard, I want to say that's probably going to be like that first week of April. So that'll get a very heavy, well, heavy's the wrong word, but it's going to get a nice healthy spoon feeding approach over a course of like 3 to 4 weeks. The front yard, it's still freaking growing. I actually put some fertilizer down on it yesterday, but it's going to be a light, minimal approach. I have some areas to where seed didn't take, or I honestly have no idea. There's just areas where I was like, there was healthy grass there before, and now it's just a barren wasteland. Not really sure what's going on, but I have a little bit of seed left over, so I'll probably do a light, like, spring overseeding of the front yard, and then into the, but concentrating more of the spring overseeding on the Bermuda experiment. Just hit some more KBG in there after a very early, like, March scalp, hopefully. But that's where we look like the front yard, backyard, but it's going to be a minimal approach. Talking to some folks right now about stuff that you'll just have to wait and see. But I'm not going to really change up what I've been using. I'm still going to be, Carbon X, X-Green, my ammonium sulfate spray. When the feature's out, it's out. The company I have been buying it from decided they are not going to be in business anymore. And unfortunately, they were the easiest place to obtain feature. I didn't really care for it on my Bermuda in the backyard. However, it did really, really well on the Kentucky bluegrass in the front. But I have enough for that for the whole season, or at least 3/4 of the season, so I'm not really worried. And plus, the iron coming out of the X-Green is through the roof anyway. So, bam! That's what we have with that. I'm so happy I got a pitchfork for Christmas. Oh man, it was so awesome. I didn't get my white balance card, so if things are off in this, as far as, everything related with white balance, color, exposure, all that fun stuff, you can blame my wife, because she didn't give me the white balance card. That was $5. That's all I asked for. But I got my pitchfork. That's actually the second thing I asked for. And it's come in handy. I've already turned the compost bit, which is mainly vegetable trimmings and grass. But we're going to have an experiment with that coming up. Oh, it's going to be good stuff. So, hey, I've been rambling for a long time. Again, truly, I thank you all for watching. Super, super thankful for everything. Hope you all have a fantastic New Year's Eve. Please be safe. Don't do anything stupid where someone will ban you from Instagram like I did. But have a fantastic New Year. The way the weather's going, my grass will probably be out of dormancy in 2 weeks, and the fun begins. But no, probably not. But yeah, y'all, thank you again so much. Real Low Dad, it's Mike. We'll see you again, probably pretty soon. Who knows? Good night.